Peace and blessings. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Bossy. And I am coming to you live from the library. It's not enough for me to keep telling y'all to get a library card and go to the library. I want you to see me and how happy I am chilling in the library. I want you to see, look at this smile. I love it here. On second thought, maybe this wasn't like the best plan because I talk really loud. I'm a Sagittarius. I talk really loud, so like trying to control my laughter and like control my voice so I don't disturb anybody is like, oh my God, maybe I should have just like recorded outside. But it was raining today, so anyways, I am picking up a couple books today. The first book that I'm picking up is Something Kindred by Sierra Birch. And while I was in the young adult or new adult section, I also found a copy of the official behind the scenes companion, Worlds Turned Upside Down, Stranger Things, which is one of my favorite shows. And I mean, the show is absolutely one of my favorites, to the point where I took the class that the Duffer Brothers, the creator of the show, they're twin creators, like brothers, Matt and Ross, I think are their names. But I took their master class. I like signed up for Masterclass, the app, and I took their class on screenwriting because I love that show. I've watched it all the way through twice, and so I'm really excited to look at this behind the scenes book. I also found the Essential New York Times cookbook. I follow them online. Look how thick this is. And I'm excited about this. I'm like in the herbalism, health, gardening, veggie, like all the cookbooks, Korean, Indian, Egyptian, Cuban, like all types of charcuterie. There's a whole book on how to make charcuterie boards, I guess. There's a meat book, books on honey. There's New Orleans cookbooks. Anyway, so I'm over here in the cooking section. So, I mean, I think that's really fun. And I think that's really a good sign because of the topic I want to discuss with you guys today. Today's topic is loneliness and boredom. I want to talk with you for just a couple of minutes about loneliness and boredom. You know, I think many of us are creatives and we're sensitive, creative, spiritual types. Many of us are very lovey-dovey. And if we're being honest with ourselves, we all desire healthy, beautiful, genuine connection with good people, relationships that are safe and comforting and peaceful, and also relationships that help us grow, help us to achieve our goals and be the best we can be. And I think trying to live without that can be really difficult. And what do you do when you just can't seem to find those connections? You just can't seem to find those people. What do you do? What do you do? I remember having a conversation with one of my homeboys from Mississippi, And he was telling me essentially, women don't need men anymore. Like, we have our own money and we have our own businesses now. We just don't seem to need men. And I want to say, first of all, many of us still want primary relationships. We still want wonderful partners. We still want lovers. We still want that connection. We just want it with good people who care about us and who are serious about us and who put in effort and who can be trusted. Because when you enter into an intimate relationship with someone, this is like you're opening yourself completely to them. You're opening yourself to them mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You open your body to them, so now your health is involved. You may open yourself financially to them. You may be allowing them to be close with your family, your children, your business. Like, you have to be trustworthy. You have to be good. You have to be worthy of trust to connect with people who still want you. You know what I mean? Who still are open to that. And so I don't think that as women, I don't think that it's true to say that women don't need men or want them. But I noticed in that conversation that he was really focused on the fact that women have their own stuff now. And what I tried to explain to this man, we're not even friends anymore, but we were friends at the time. I was trying to explain to him that women, like, you can't expect women to sit around waiting for someone to decide that they are worthy to be in a relationship with and to be given the world. Like ideally, it would be wonderful if you could connect with someone who shares your values and who's trustworthy and you love them and they love you back and it's a great relationship and y'all could build together. But in the meantime and in between time, like, women were never going to sit around waiting. Like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? We pursue educations. We deepen our relationships with our communities and our friends and our families. We develop ourselves spiritually. We take care of ourselves physically. We set personal goals for ourselves. We start businesses. We get money. We buy properties. Like, we do what we can. We take care of the children. Like, women don't owe anybody wasting their time. Like, you don't owe anybody your time, meaning you don't need to sit around wasting your time in the idle hope that somebody might come along at a later date just so they could feel secure. I don't fucking know. It's just so they can feel like they're needed. I'm trying so hard to control my voice. Can you tell? But like, I thought it was the most absurd thing. But again, a lot of people are just not existing in reality. They're not looking at situations intelligently and realistically, regardless of if you're in a relationship with someone or not, you still deserve nice things. Life still continues. You still have to take care of yourself. You still have desires and needs on all levels of your being. And you're free to pursue those things. You're free to pursue those things, whether people like it or not. And maybe down the line, you'll connect with someone who is trustworthy and who loves you, who you also love, and you can converge and come together and grow together from there. And if not, if you never meet anybody who is worth that level of attachment and devotion and commitment and faithfulness and togetherness and union, then you will still have created a beautiful and satisfying, fulfilling life for yourself. And you can always fall in love again next lifetime. Okay? That is what I feel. So here's what I would say for those of you, those of us, because I feel these feelings too. Boredom and loneliness are parts of the human experience. The question is, what do you do with these feelings, especially when they are crowding you, when you just can't shake them? I'm going to tell you my suggestions. Okay. My number one suggestion, I've already kind of said, is cultivating relationships. I used to do this thing where it's funny now, but it's kind of not funny also. I used to do this thing where I would just be like ignoring the fact that I feel lonely, and I would just like burrow deeper into the loneliness and isolate. What I do now, I'm grown now. I've become a little bit wiser. I've started looking at life and my situation realistically. I've been in reality. It's like if you feel lonely, isolating is probably not going to help. So instead of isolating when I feel lonely, I call people. I call people, specifically people that I like, people that I feel safe with, people who are trustworthy, and people who are good friends, especially other women. Because while men are wonderful and I love them and they smell good and they're so fucking sexy, I love them, women really do help me feel less alone. I feel like women, the women I like and the women that I spend time with and the women who are my friends, women get it. Women get it. There are so many things that other women just get that I don't have to explain. Like I would never have to explain to a woman, well, just because I'm single doesn't like mean I'm not about to go get this money. Like I would never have to explain that to a woman. A woman would be like, yeah, how can I get some money too? Is there a spell? So when I feel lonely, the first thing I do, I acknowledge that shit now. I don't just ignore it and stuff it down and isolate deeper. No, I acknowledge it and I make plans with someone that I like. Let's go to a movie. Let's watch a show at the house. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go for a walk in the park. Let's go to the witchcraft store. Let's go thrifting. The people that I feel most drawn to, let's go skating. The people that I feel most drawn to right now, they like a lot of the same old lady things that I like. So they will go with me to the plant nursery and pick out plants. They will go with me to go skating, go for a walk in the park, go to the bookstore, library. Like they would do that because they're the same as me. They're like me, you know? The second thing that I do when I'm feeling lonely, especially when it's like, okay, so I made plans with my friend. Like I made some really good plans for the end of August to fly out to LA just to go see a movie with the Death Alchemist. The Death Alchemist is one of my favorite people. Like, I will travel to hang out with this girl. Like, I love the way she thinks. I love how tender and kind she is, how patient she is, but also how, like, she is. She Mexican, so. Also very, okay? Very, she's spicy. All my Latinx girls, spicy, okay? But also just so sweet and so tender and so kind. when you're with her, you just feel light. You feel like you're flowing. You feel like you can be honest. You feel like you can experience all your emotions and nobody's going to stop being your friend. So I really love her. And I made those plans for the end of August. We're at the beginning of August. So in the meantime and in between time, I give myself over to my interests. Two things by this. The first thing that I mean is I have responsibilities. I have things that have to get done. My house needs to be clean, floor washes, altar upkeep, update my websites, processing orders, going to the gym, taking care of my body. I have things, bills being paid. I have things that need to be done. And when those things are done, I feel 10 times better. So when I'm feeling bored or lonely, I start tidying up my space. I start taking care of tasks. I start handling errands. I give myself a cute little yerba mate tea and I get to work. And that helps me to feel better. So handling my responsibilities is in my best interest. So I give myself over to interests that way. That's number one. Number two, I have a lot of different curiosities. Like with the book I just showed you, Stranger Things. You guys know that I'm obsessed with film. I even told Death Alchemist, that's Adriana Michelle, I even told her, like, when I get there, I would love to go to the film stores and see if we could go check out some more camera equipment. She was like, of course. I'm interested in film, so I'm going to take some time to review my notes from the screenwriting class I did, or to read a book about film, or watch videos on YouTube about film, or practice filming for myself, or read a book that's behind the scenes of one of my favorite television shows. I'm giving myself over to the things that I'm interested in that maybe, I don't know who else is. Actually, I know some people who may be interested in. And that's a beautiful way to connect with other people who share your interest. And sometimes the way that I'm connecting is I'm taking a class from the Duffer Brothers. I'm looking at their stuff online. I'm rewatching the show, or I talk to somebody in my real world, like again, the Death Alchemist, somebody who is interested in film like me, you know? And so by giving myself over to my interests, my curiosities, watching these films, watching these shows, taking notes, practicing myself, looking at more film equipment, looking into film school, let me tell you how the boredom evaporates. The boredom evaporates. What are you interested in doing? And how can you make that more a part of your routine in your day-to-day? So giving yourself over to your interest, handling your responsibilities. And a lot of times I just want to say, especially if your loneliness and boredom is mixed with any type of sadness, if you have the blues, I've been telling you guys for a while how I quit smoking back in October of 2023. Not having cigarettes to reach for anymore has been a challenge. I'm just being real. It took me to just like this week to start to have a feeling like, ugh, why would I do that anyways? I still wanted to smoke for the last like 2 years. I still wanted to smoke. I would say to myself, fuck, I wish I still smoked. If I still smoked, I would be smoking right now. For almost 2 years, it's August. So August, September, October. 3 months shy of 2 years of not smoking cigarettes and tobacco. When you don't have that crutch to reach for, and baby, I knocked off smoking, then I started to handle my spending. You guys know I've been doing that a lot. It's like, what will I do if I'm not using shopping as a coping mechanism, as a strategy to feel better? What will I do instead? Now I'm taking care of my eating and eating, because you don't need to smoke. You can live your whole life without smoking nicotine. You need water, you need food, you need sleep. You don't need nicotine to live. So you can do without nicotine. Shopping, you still you need to, get the things that you need to live life, but you could put that you could subscribe to some stuff and get yourself some regular things, like just a simple bit of supplies, okay, that you can buy with your eyes closed. You know what you need to live. You know what toothpaste you like and what mouthwash and what cereal, like what coffee, what tea. You could live easily without overspending, just getting the simple supplies that you as an individual need. You need to eat to live. It's a challenge to bring care to your relationship with food, to reclaim a peaceful relationship with food. You can't just stop eating. You can't just eliminate it from your life. You have to actively work on that. Now, the good news is you have multiple opportunities in a day to work on it. Because you have to do it so often. That I'm working on my relationship with food is like, if I'm not using food as a way to cope with my feelings, what am I doing with my feelings? How am I responding? How am I coping? How am I dealing? And a lot of it is, first, I'm recognizing, I'm acknowledging, what am I feeling? Do I feel angry? Do I feel betrayed? Do I feel upset? Do I feel let down, disappointed? Am I tired? How do I feel? Is this even an emotional thing? Is this more of a physiological thing? Am I thirsty? Am I hungry? How am I dealing with my feelings? Do I need a break? Do I need some fresh air? Do I need a walk? And let me tell you, the number one thing that I'm learning when it comes to taking care of myself emotionally, when I'm no longer allowing myself to eat my feelings, smoke my feelings, shop my feelings, is changing my physical state. That is nothing new. That's like so old. I probably heard that for the first time in the early 2000s from like an Anthony Robbins tape or something. If you change your physical state, your feelings will change. Like your feelings will follow. If you are assuming a melancholic, sad, dejected, depressed, let down, insecure, low self-esteem type of posture and way of using your voice and way of moving, your emotions are going to follow you right down the drain. But if you correct your posture, take some deep breaths, look up, look around, put a smile on your face, and assume a different position, if you work with your physiology, you'll feel better. So instead of eating, smoking, shopping, wasting my damn money, okay, meditating, breathing, going in the sauna, laying down, taking a nap, going for a walk, being outside, getting some sun, going to the trees, changing my breathing deeply, looking at the sky, creating something, like literally working with my hands. For me, I'm a writer, so that's very easy. Journaling, or now I've been junk journaling, or junk journaling. Paint something, even though that's not my thing really. Paint something, draw something, make a sigil. Hands, work with your hands. It changes the way you feel. I'm telling you. It changes the way you feel. And then reading. So as I handle my relationship with food, the next thing that I know I'm going to be handling is my relationship with social media. Also not using social media as a way to do anything with my self-esteem. Like, don't want my numbers and followers and likes and all that stuff to be the way that I make myself feel good or that I make myself feel fulfilled or connected or significant or any of those feelings. I want shit that's real. I want, I want to, instead of feeling like some type of boost emotionally from a spike in my follower numbers, I want to feel good about my garden thriving, or about how much I'm able to get done with one of my writing projects, or about how beautifully a short film I'm working on is coming together, or how deeply I'm able to connect with a text that I'm reading, or how good I feel in my body when I wake up in the morning. And let me tell you something about that. Because I used to eat before bed, like I would eat before bed and it was keeping weight on my body really, really bad. I'm starting to slim down now, thank God, but it was like I would wake up in the morning with like an acid reflux, like burning and a little bit of like a sour, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling good when I was waking up in the morning. Instead of doing late night snacking, I've been doing late night film. So I'll turn on a show, and usually if I turn on a show, baby, I'm out like a light. I'm out like a light. Thank God I have this setting on my television where the television will turn itself off after a certain while. But instead of a late night pizza, I've been doing a late night movie, okay, or a late night show. And I wake up in the morning and my body feels totally calm, which is a new, refreshing, and improved feeling. It feels better waking up in my body. And it's like for the first time in a long time. Because when I was smoking, I would wake up and my throat would be hurting. I would be coughing. Library's about to close. So I would wake up and I would be coughing. My throat would be hurt and I barely breathe. That was one of the major reasons that I was like, fuck this. Fuck this. Because I still have, if you notice, I still am like catching my breath. Because I smoked for 10 years. Thank God the lungs will heal themselves and repair themselves with time. But let me tell you, I was like, I'm scared of not being able to breathe. And I was having a hard time. I was like waking up and feeling really crazy levels of anxiety. Waking up like, what am I doing to my body? And that helped me quit smoking because I was back in reality. One of the best things we can do for ourselves is to start looking at things realistically, to look at the reality of our situation and of ourselves and be honest with ourselves about what we need to do and then do it. You just start to feel better once you do that. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm sharing these things with you, even though I know that they might seem kind of boring. I basically told people spend more time scripting and imagining what you want, less time spending. I've been telling people to spend less of their money. And I know that's not the most exciting thing I could be sharing with you online. That's not, people like silly things, playful things, funny things. And I'm here like, conserve your resources, conserve your money, find different ways to to have fun. Script, change your physiology if you want to change the way you feel. Like, that's not the most exciting thing, but I think that these are the sorts of things that can really make our lives feel better for us. And I think it's important to create a life that feels good and feels better than it looks to these people. I think that's important. So I'm willing to sound boring. I'ma still share this stuff even if it is boring. So I hope that you have your library card. If you don't, make sure you go and get one and get you some books and enjoy your weekend. Peace and blessings.